The Galactic Voyager had been Natalie Chen's home for 3 standard years now, and in that time she'd learned to appreciate the quiet hum of the ship's engines during night cycles. That peace had ended exactly 7 solar rotations ago. Anthony Rodriguez, her fellow human and the ship's chief engineer, leaned against her doorframe with dark circles under his eyes. "Did you hear them last night? I swear they were playing zero-gravity hockey at 0300 hours. Natalie looked up from her morning coffee. Real Earth coffee, a luxury she'd bartered for with her collection of pre-war jazz recordings. "Playing? Anthony, they were hunting. There's a difference." The they in question were the Cathara cubs, offspring of Ambassador Virex, the apex predator species that had initially opposed humanity's admission to the Galactic Council. The Cathara stood 7 feet tall, possessed retractable claws that could slice through titanium, and had evolved from pack hunters on a death world where everything was venomous, including the plants. Their children, however, had discovered something wonderful, a simple rubber ball from Earth's recreation supplies. "It's just a ball," the ship's Centaurian captain had said when Natalie first complained. "Surely it cannot cause that much disturbance." Captain Zelmora had never encountered human toys before. The ball itself was unremarkable. Red, slightly worn, approximately 15 centimeters in diameter. It had belonged to the ship's small Earth recreation kit, forgotten in a storage locker until the cub's curious exploration had unearthed it. The moment the youngest cub, Kriska, had batted it with her paw and watched it bounce, something primal had awakened. Now the hallway outside the human quarters had become a hunting ground. Natalie stepped into the corridor just as the ball ricocheted past her head, followed by 3 sets of thundering paws. The cubs, Kriska, Tilan, and Vorek, were barely adolescent by Cathara standards, which meant they were only the size of Earth tigers. Their scales gleamed under the ship's lighting, iridescent patterns of crimson and gold flashing as they tumbled over each other in pursuit of their prey. "Intercept! Intercept!" Vorek chirped in the high-pitched clicking language of Cathara youth, launching himself off a wall with the grace of a creature born to hunt. The ball bounced directly toward Natalie. Without thinking, she caught it. 3 pairs of predatory eyes locked onto her hand. The corridor fell silent. Anthony, still in the doorway, whispered urgently, "Natalie, don't move." But Natalie had spent enough time with the Cathara to understand something the other species hadn't. Predators didn't just hunt for food. They hunted to play, to bond, to teach. She'd seen it in Earth's wolves, in her childhood cat, in every social predator that had ever existed. She threw the ball. The hallway exploded with delighted roars as the cubs scrambled after it, their claws leaving small scratches in the supposedly indestructible hull plating. Talon caught it first, tossing it upward with a flick of his snout before Kriska intercepted mid-air. Her small wings, vestigial in adults but still functional in youth, giving her the crucial advantage. Ambassador Virex emerged from his quarters, his massive form filling the corridor. The temperature seemed to drop. His reputation as a warrior who had single-handedly ended the Kraxan rebellion made even the bravest species step carefully around him. He observed the scene, his children playing with primitive human technology, the 2 humans watching with amusement rather than fear. "They have not slept properly since discovering this object," Virex said, his voice a deep rumble that vibrated through the deck plates. "Neither have we," Anthony admitted, then immediately looked like he regretted his honesty. Vrex's eyes, 6 of them arranged in 2 rows, focused on the engineer. For a long moment no one breathed. Then something unexpected happened. The ambassador's mandibles clicked in what Natalie had learned to recognize as Cathara laughter. On our homeworld, cubs learn to hunt by chasing the light spheres during the crimson moon phase. They glow and move unpredictably. He watched Vorek attempt a diving catch and faceplant into the floor. "This ball of yours provides similar stimulation. It is good for them. They grow lazy on this metal ship." "Ambassador," Natalie said carefully, "what if we set up specific times for play? The humans have an old tradition called recess, scheduled periods for physical activity." Vrex considered this. "You would participate in their training." "Training?" Anthony looked confused. "Play is how young predators learn," Natalie explained, not taking her eyes off the ambassador. "Pack cohesion strategy reflexes, right?" Vrex's mandibles clicked again, louder this time. "The other species call humans death worlders because your planet tried to kill you for millennia." They forget that you are also pack hunters, pursuit predators. You understand? And there it was. The thing that made humanity unique in the Galactic Council. Humans weren't the strongest, the fastest, or the most technologically advanced, but they understood the universal language of play, of bonding through shared activity, even with species who terrified everyone else. So we set up a schedule? Anthony asked, warming to the idea. Maybe convert Recreation Bay 3? It's not being used. And rules, Natalie added. Boundaries, goals. Humans are very good at turning play into structured games. Frex watched his cubs tumble over each other, their joyful chirps echoing through the corridor. Yes, I believe this would be acceptable. 3 weeks later, the Galactic Voyager's first interspecies ball game became legendary. The halls were finally quiet during night cycles, but during designated recess, they thundered with the sounds of Cathara cubs and human laughter, teaching each other the ancient wisdom their species shared, that predators who play together stay together. And somewhere in the ship's archives, a note was logged. Humans remain bizarre. They make friends with apex predators using rubber spheres. Recommend further study.